Today's class is Pharmacology Part 3. So, in today's class, we can start the topic with drug addiction. Okay, so drug addiction is a subheading which is included in the Pharmacology Basic Introduction General Pharmacology chapter. So, I hope you all have heard about drug addiction, right? So, drug addiction. So, as in a definition, we can say that it is also the other name of drug addiction is we can call this drug addiction as substance use disorder. Okay, so substance use disorder and drug addiction, both the terms are same. So, as a definition, we can say that this is a disease that affect a person's brain and behavior and leads to an inability to control the use of a legal or illegal drug or medication. So, what is drug addiction? So, it is a disease. Okay, so substance use disorder is defined as a disease. And what is it causing? It is affecting a person's brain or behavior. Okay, so drug addiction is first of all causing some kind of actions on the person's brain and behavior, and this leads to an inability to control the use of a legal or illegal drug or medication. So we as a common person, we all will be using many kinds of medication, right? So in our daily life, many of us will be using or regularly using drugs, but we know that how to use, right? The right medication at the right time at the right dose, we use like that. So in drug addiction, what happens is that this is disease is affecting a person's brain and behavior, and the person is enabled, and this is leading to the inability to control the use of a legal or illegal drug. Whether it is legal or illegal drug, that particular person is unable to control that particular drug use. Okay, so he will be using it more than the specified amount or more than the specified dose, he will be using it. Okay, whether it is legal or illegal, the medication will be using abnormally or in abnormal dose, the particular person will be using. That condition or that disorder is known as drug addiction. Okay, so substances such as alcohol, marijuana and nicotine also are considered drugs. So we know that alcohol, nicotine, all these are drugs, right? Under pharmacology, we usually consider nicotine and marijuana, etc. as drugs. Okay, so these are some of the most common what agents which is drug addiction is occurring. Okay, so some of the major agents which is causing drug addiction is alcohol, marijuana, etc. Okay, so when a particular person is having drug addiction, he or she may continue using the drug despite the harm it causes, right? So that particular person will be continuing abnormal abnormal use of the drug. So he will be continuing that particular drug dose even though that particular person know that the drug or medication is causing some kind of negative effects on that person. Okay, so we all will be using drugs in a specified dose or specified time like that, but during a drug addiction, that particular person is not able to control himself from using that drug, right? Even though it is causing some kind of harmful effect, the person is repeatedly using the drug. That is simply known as drug addiction. Okay, so drug addiction can start with experimental use of a recreational drug in social situations, and for some people the drug use becomes more frequent, right? So drug addiction usually starts with an experimentation in some kind of people. Okay, so they will be experimenting with a particular drug in some situation, maybe with their peer groups or with their friends. They will be using a particular kind of drug for fun or something, for just an experimentation, but it eventually becomes a habit. Okay, so that is what happening in drug addiction. For others, particularly with opioids, drug addiction begins with exposure to prescribed medication or receiving medication from a friend or relative who has been prescribed the medication. Okay. So next term we need to understand in pharmacology is tolerance. Okay. So I hope you all have heard about tolerance. What is tolerance in simple words? It is a person's diminished response to a drug. Okay, which occurs when the drug is used repeatedly and the body adapts to the continued presence of the drug. So, what do you mean by tolerance in simple words? A person is repeatedly using a drug. Okay, so some kind of body adaptations is occurring in that person, and as a result, the response to that drug for that person is diminished. Okay, so in short words, the drug is used repeatedly or continuous use of the drug causes a body adaptation. Some kind of body changes occur for that person, and that continued use of the drug, repeated use of the drug is causing a diminished response. Okay, so all will be having some kind of response when we are taking a particular drug, right? So when tolerance develops, that response will be diminished. Okay. Resistance refers to the ability of microorganism or cancer cell to withstand the effect of a drug, usually effective against them. So I hope you have heard about the term resistance. So what do you mean by resistance? It is the ability of microorganism or cancer cell to withstand the effect of a drug. Okay, that is known as resistance. So when we are saying about tolerance, there are majorly two types of tolerance. Okay, one is physiological and the second one is behavioral. Okay, so the one is physiological as well as behavioral tolerance is there. Then physical tolerance occurs at the cellular level. Physical tolerance occurs at cellular level. So we studied that tolerance is something which is occurring in a person due to repeated administration of certain drugs, right? And it is resulting in a decrease in their pharmacological effect or response. Okay, repeated use of the drugs is resulting in a decreased pharmacological effect or response. Okay. Hence, higher dose of such drugs are needed to produce a given response, right? So we know that as the particular person is having tolerance, there will be less response or less pharmacological effect. So he or she need to take higher dose of the drug, right? To give the particular response, he need to take the drug in higher doses. The very best example of some drugs which is causing tolerance are ephedrine, organic nitrate, opioids, etc. Okay, so some of the drugs which cause tolerance. Okay, that example is ephedrine, organic nitrates, opioids, etc. Okay, so just remember what is tolerance, what is the definition, what are the type of tolerance. So, and also some examples of drugs causing tolerance. Okay. So also we need to, I already told you that tolerance is of physiological like that, physical like that, many types are there. Other than that, we can classify the tolerance or types of tolerance. We can say it as natural tolerance and acquired tolerance. Okay, so natural tolerance means it is again subdivided into species tolerance and racial tolerance. Okay, so under natural tolerance, we can subdivide the tolerance into species tolerance. That means some kind of species are tolerate with some kind of drugs. Okay, in racial tolerance, some races show tolerance to certain drugs. For example, the black people are tolerant to mydriatics. Okay, and in species tolerance, we can say that rabbits can tolerate large dose of atropine. Okay, So the second main category or classification of tolerance is acquired tolerance. What is acquired tolerance? It develops on repeated exposure of a drug. Okay, so when a particular person is repeatedly taking a drug, such kind of tolerance occurring is acquired tolerance. Okay, so just remember what are the types of tolerance. What is the definition? Some drugs which is causing tolerance. Okay, so next is substance dependence. Okay, so another term we need to study is substance dependence. It is otherwise simply known as dependence. What is substance dependence? It is an adaptive state that develops from repeated drug administration and which results in withdrawal upon cessation of drug use. What is dependence? First of all, it is a adaptive state. Okay, and how it is occurring? It is occurring due to repeated drug administration. Okay, as a result of repeated drug administration, and a adaptive state is occurring. An adaptive state is developing in a person due to repeated drug administration, and it is resulting in withdrawal symptoms. Okay, it is results in withdrawal upon cessation of drug use. Upon when we are stopping, when such a person is stop using that particular drug, some kind of withdrawal occurs. Okay, that condition is known as dependence. Okay, so upon repeated drug administration, a person some kind of adaptations occur or develop, and these results in withdrawal upon cessation of drug use. A drug addiction, a distinct concept from substance dependence, is defined as compulsive, out of control drug use despite negative consequences. So first we studied what is substance dependence. So also we need to understand what is drug addiction. Okay, we have commonly heard about drug addiction in our daily life, but it is different from dependence. Okay, so what is a drug addiction? Drug addiction is a distinct concept from substance dependence. Okay, it is something different. It is having some difference from the dependence, and it is defined as compulsive, out of control drug use. In short, the out of control drug use causes drug addiction. Okay, whereas dependence occurs due to repeated drug administration, and during the stoppage of the particular drug use, withdrawal occurs. Okay, so you should understand what is substance dependence and drug addiction. Okay. Dependence is characterized by the symptoms of tolerance and withdrawal. So what is saying? Dependence is characterized by the symptoms of tolerance and withdrawal. While it is possible to have a physical dependence without being addicted, addiction is usually right around the corner. So we studied what is dependence, what is addiction. Okay, so it is both the terms are having some kind of differences there. Addiction means we are out of use control of a particular drug, even though we know that the particular drug can cause negative impact on a particular person. He is taking the drug in a uncontrolled manner. Okay, so as a result, addiction can cause a change in behavior usually. Okay, caused by the biochemical changes in the brain after continued substance abuse. So in addiction, some kind of biochemical changes are occurring in the brain. Okay, some kind of behavior changes are occurring. But in dependence is not like that. It is due to the stoppage of the particular drug. So, okay, the withdrawal symptoms due to repeated such a drug, if a person is taking repeatedly and he is suddenly stopping that, some kind of withdrawal occurs. That is dependence. Okay. Next is tachyphylaxis. Okay, so I hope you have heard about the term tachyphylaxis. Actually, tachyphylaxis is a term derived from the Greek word. It is actually a combination of two Greek terms, that is tachys and phylaxis. And in Greek, tachy, that particular first term is known as rapid. Okay, and phylaxis means protection. So it is a medical term describing an acute sudden decrease in response to a drug after its administration. So what is tachyphylaxis? What is the definition? It is a medical term describing an acute sudden decrease in response to a drug after its administration. So tachyphylaxis is a medical term, and it is the sudden decrease in response to a drug after its administration. That is a rapid and short term onset of drug tolerance. So in short, we can say that there is a rapid and short term onset of drug tolerance. It can occur after an initial dose or after a series of small doses. Okay, so usually tachyphylaxis occurs maybe after an initial dose or after a series of small doses. So it is a acute and sudden decrease. Okay, so tachyphylaxis is usually it's a rapid some kind of changes occurring in a person. Okay, it is very rapid in nature. You need to know that. Okay, increasing the dose of the drug may be able to restore the original response. So in some cases, to remove this tachyphylaxis effect, increased dose of the drug can change. It can sometimes restore the original response. Okay. The term tachyphylaxis is used to describe desensitization that occurs very rapidly, sometimes with the initial dose. So I already told you this tachyphylaxis is a rapid reaction. Okay, and this causes maybe during the initial dose itself. The term tolerance is conventionally used to describe a more gradual loss of response to a drug that occurs over a week or days. So we sometimes use the term tolerance if a person is having some kind of gradual loss of response when the particular drug is taking after maybe over days or weeks. Okay, sometimes in that case, sometimes we use the term tolerance. But if it is occurring that desensitization or decreased effect or response is occurring in a rapid manner, we call it as tachyphylaxis. Okay. So we need to know some drugs like decongestant drops or OTC medications like decongestant drops. These are some of the major drugs which can cause tachyphylaxis. Okay, so for example, you need to understand some examples also that can cause tachyphylaxis. One of the major one is ophthalmic decongestant drugs such as Visine. Okay, it is a OTC medication. It can cause tachyphylaxis. So remember just one example also. Okay. So tachyphylaxis is the continued or repeated exposure to a drug that may lead to a weakened pharmacological response. So we already told the definition of tachyphylaxis. Okay, it is a weakened pharmacological response to a drug, maybe in the initial dose itself or maybe in the repeated dose. This presumed to be a consequence of diminished receptor sensitivity in response to consistent stimulation by a drug agonist, which produce a diminished pharmacological response in consequence. Okay, so just remember what is tachyphylaxis. Okay. The next term we need to know is idiosyncrasy. Okay, what is idiosyncrasy? So, as a definition, we can say idiosyncrasy, it is an adverse reaction that does not occur in most patients treated with a drug and does not involve the therapeutic effect of the drug. So, in short, idiosyncrasy occur in a very small population, and it is a kind of adverse reaction that occurs in some patients when he or she is taking a particular drug. He is treating with a particular drug, and the therapeutic effect is not occurring, or the particular person is not getting the full therapeutic effect. That adverse reaction is known as idiosyncrasy. And another definition is also there. In that, as that definition, we can say idiosyncrasy as an abnormal reactivity to a chemical that is peculiar to a given individual. So first of all, we need to know that idiosyncrasy doesn't occur in all population. It is a very rare. It occurs only in some patients, and it is a kind of adverse reaction. And in idiosyncrasy, what is happening? It is an abnormal reaction to a chemical. Okay, so the full therapeutic effect is not occurring. Okay, that is idiosyncrasy. So, idiosyncrasy is an abnormal reactivity to a chemical that is peculiar to a given individual. Okay, so it is an abnormal reaction to a particular drug. So, what happens in idiosyncrasy? And maybe sometimes an abnormal exaggerated response can happen. Okay, sometimes an over response can happen. Sometimes a lack of response, abnormal lack of response can happen. Sometimes a response unusual because it requires an unusually small or unusually large dose. Sometimes in some persons, for getting a response, he or she need to take maybe a small quantity or sometimes a large quantity. Okay, sometimes an extension of the normal physiological drug effect. The effect is extended. In some person, a reaction which is unrelated to the expected physiological effect, or in short, an extra or some kind of other reaction can happen when he or she is taking the drug. So, the symptoms or idiosyncrasy can vary from person to person. That is all what we need to understand about idiosyncrasy. Okay, sometimes it can be an exaggerated response, sometimes a lack of response, sometimes the reaction can cause a unexpected effect. Sometimes it can extend, the effect can extend for a long time. Likewise, it can varies. Okay. So, idiosyncrasy is not a drug allergy, but both are forms of adverse reaction. So, we told that it is a kind of adverse drug reaction to a drug, but it is not drug allergy. It is different. Okay, drug allergy is different. Idiosyncratic drug reactions are unrelated to the dose of the drug. So, usually idiosyncratic drug reactions doesn't have any kind of direct connection with the drug dose. Okay. So, common life-threatening idiosyncratic drug reaction include DRESS syndrome, toxic epidermal necrolysis, Stevens-Johnson syndrome, etc. So you need to just remember some life-threatening idiosyncratic drug reaction like Stevens-Johnson syndrome, DRESS syndrome, toxic epidermal necrolysis, etc. Okay, just remember some life-threatening idiosyncratic drug reaction to some drugs. Okay. Next is drug allergy. So what is drug allergy? It is the abnormal reaction of the immune system to a medication. That is the most simplest definition. It is the abnormal reaction of one's own immune system to a particular medication. Okay. So another thing we need to understand is that it can occur, a particular drug allergy can occur maybe for OTC medication or for herbal medication, for any kind of medication, drug allergy can occur. It is just an abnormal reaction of one's own immune system to a medication. Okay. So, the most common signs and symptoms of drug allergy, usually when a person is having some kind of allergy to a drug, the most common signs and symptoms include rashes, fever, hives, etc. Okay, usually fever will develop in most of the patients, fever will develop, and also some kind of skin reactions, okay, can also happen. Next is under drug allergy, we need to know the 4 types of drug allergy. Okay, the first one is type 1, or it is otherwise known as immediate hypersensitivity. Okay, and during the type 1 hypersensitivity reaction, allergic dermatitis like reaction can occur. The other name for type 1 or immediate hypersensitivity is anaphylactic reaction. Okay, so type 1, immediate hypersensitivity, anaphylactic reaction, all are same. The second classification, type 2, is otherwise known as cytotoxic reaction, or other name is antibody dependent reaction. Then the third type is immune complex reaction. Then fourth one is delayed hypersensitivity, or it is otherwise known as cell mediated hypersensitivity. Okay, so hypersensitivity is majorly classified into 4 types: type 1, 2, 3 and 4, and you need to study the other names also. First one is anaphylactic reaction, second one is cytotoxic reaction, third one is immune complex reaction, fourth one is delayed hypersensitivity reaction. Okay. So, antihistamine to relieve mild symptoms such as rashes, hives, itching, etc. So, usually we told that when a particular person is having drug allergy, the most common symptoms will be itching, rashes and all those things. Okay, sometimes even asthma like symptoms, wheezing, cough, all this kind of reaction can happen. So, we can take antihistamines and bronchodilators, corticosteroid, etc. to stop this kind of unwanted reaction. Okay. Then the next subheading we need to study under pharmacology is enzyme induction. What is enzyme induction? It is a process in which a molecule or a drug induces the expression of an enzyme. So, a molecule or drug is inducing or enhancing the enzyme action. Okay, so as a result, what is occurring? Increased action of enzyme can occur. Okay, then another term is enzyme inhibition. What is that? Simply inhibition of the enzyme by another molecule. Okay, so sometimes a molecule can cause an enzyme to inhibit, also sometimes an enzyme to initiate or enhance its action. These are known as enzyme induction and enzyme inhibition. So, if a molecule induces enzyme that are responsible for its own metabolism, it is known as autoinduction. Some molecule can cause autoinduction, means it can induces enzyme and thus it can cause its own metabolism. Okay, that is known as autoinduction. So, enzyme induction refers to an increase in the rate of hepatic metabolism. Why? There is increased amount of enzyme. So, metabolism will increase, mediated by increased transcription of mRNA encoding the gene for drug metabolizing enzyme. So, in short, we can simply say that during an enzyme induction, a molecule is inducing or enhancing a particular enzyme action, and thus metabolism rate is increasing. Okay. So, along with this, while studying enzyme induction and inhibition, we need to understand and study some examples also. So the very best examples for enzyme inducers, those agents which induce enzymes. So very best examples are barbiturate, phenytoin, rifabutin. Likewise, many drugs are there. Then for some examples of enzyme inhibiting agents are erythromycin, ciprofloxacin, cimetidine, isoniazid, etc. Okay, so while studying enzyme induction and inhibition, we need to remember some examples also. So in under enzyme induction, we can say barbiturate, carbamazepine, griseofulvin, phenytoin, etc. And under enzyme inhibition, erythromycin, ciprofloxacin, cimetidine, isoniazid. Okay, so we'll wind up with our today's class by saying this much. Thank you.